Well, hello, everybody. It is the third Monday in February. Holy moly. So I am so excited because this is the first time I've been talking on the team call, I feel like in like 2 months. I swear, I've had so many amazing guest speakers, but then I was like, nobody's better than me. I'm just kidding, totally kidding. But I did miss getting, and Sarah, I told Sarah this morning we were working together, and she was like, I was like, yeah, I think I have another guest speaker for us. And she's like, really? I mean, can you like not just talk? And I was like, yeah, I can cancel on the guest speaker if you want me to. She's like, yeah. She's like, I just want to hear from you. And I was like, well, I don't really have much to say, but cool. And then I was like, you know what? I do, because I talk all the time about my superpower, right? And I truly, truly feel like my superpower is consistency. And I know Charmaine will vouch for this because literally she says I need to get this tattooed on my forehead, the word consistency. And so I was like, what are the three things? Like, what if I could give you guys three things that has been like, I feel like it's been like the key to my success, how I was able to grow from a team of me to a team of over 183 coaches. I can't believe we are in the almost 200s of coaches. And so like, how was I able to do that in, under a year's time? And so I was like, okay, I think I can give them some value. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because you guys know that I am a squirrel, and I thought I had it pulled up here. Here we go. All right, so I would pretty much say you need three things. Well, I guess this says four things. So consistency. Like I said, y'all, consistency is going to be what makes your business. And I'm going to show you some graphics, and you're going to be like, damn, like you're going to be like, that is what happens when you're consistent every single day, no matter rain, shine, hail, slate, deaths, whatever comes in your way. As long as you're doing these actions every single day, you're going to be successful. It's inevitable. It's going to take hustle. Y'all, I can tell you what, like that's one thing I will always say is I know I will work circles around anybody out there. Like no matter what is going on in my life, no matter what is like, I know I control the controllable. And so like what I can control, I can't control what y'all do. Like I can't control how successful y'all are in your business. I can't control, who signs up with me that day. I can't control, what comes my way, what kind of obstacles, but what I can control is how I respond to those and how I take charge of my day and don't let my day take charge of me. And so that's one thing is like, we all need to just control the controllable. And that's one thing you can do is control your hustle. And the next thing is grit. We all have to have that grit. And I don't mean like, just like, you've got to be grit. You've got to just we're going to get no's. We're going to get people saying F off. We're going to get haters in our inbox. If you are doing your job, if we are doing our job as coaches and being authentically us, we are going to get those people in our inbox that don't like us. Embrace them, because that means that you're going to be getting that much closer to the other yous of the world and finding the other yous of the world. And so the last thing is living unapologetically you. It's like, if you are living unapologetically you, you're going to need that grit, because you're going to find those haters, but also you're going to find your tribe. Like all of y'all, when we threw like 3 F-bombs out there, like you guys didn't even flinch. You guys like, okay, like, because that's me. You guys know that from my Instagram. You guys know that I like my beverages. I'm surprised this does not have vodka in my mama crack right now. I mean, let's just be real. But like, your vibe attracts your tribe. And so if you're living unapologetically you, if you are giving all of you and showing who you are, you're gonna attract the other yous of the world, where you don't have to worry about sugarcoating. You don't have to worry about, trying to fit in with the crowd, like in high school when you were trying to fit in with like the popular kids, but you really weren't that person. Like I know me, like I always tried to fit in everywhere I needed to. I was like the freaking just poster of like, you could stick me in any group and I would just like fit in, because I would like mold and confine to what they're likely, like what they wanted. And so like I would go with like, the people that were a little hood, and, I would be getting a little ghetto up in there. Or, I would hang out with like the super, prissy price, like cheerleaders like I was, and I would fit in there. And so like society tells us to like mold into this person we're supposed, like what society tells us to be. But this one job is something that is our only job to live unapologetically us. And so this is one of my favorite quotes in the entire world. It says, success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying basic fundamentals. Y'all, I will like literally beat this into your head till you're black and blue. What our job, like over all of the fluff, all the Instagram stories and all the pretty graphics all these top coaches use, and over all the things that you see everybody using that you think you have to do, there are four things that we need to do to be successful coaches. And I'm going to tell you them because they are your vital behaviors. You've got to do your personal development. You've got to make sure your mind's right, because if your mind's not right, nothing else is going to flow. Excuse me. You've got to make sure that you're being proof of the product. That means you've got to make sure you're drinking your shake every day. And you've got to make sure that you're showing up for your fitness. Because at the end of the day, our number one job is to get results ourselves. Like, what other kind of job out there is it our number one job to be the best us freaking possible, right? Like, I don't know about y'all, but my corporate job over at State Farm, they didn't say, you know what, Allie? Overall the sales, overall, like sales are important, yes, like getting people insurance, but I want to make sure you're being the best you. I want to make sure you're taking care of yourself. They didn't give an F if I took care of myself. They just wanted me to sell their crap. You know what I mean? And so like literally our job right here is to be the proof of the product and show it works. And then we've got to invite. Like, y'all, inviting is the core of our business. If you are not inviting consistently and every single day, rain or shine, I invite 7 days a week. My seventh day is not usually personal, like inbox invites. It's usually like call to actions and public invites, but I go in people's inboxes 6 days a week. And whatever number is comfortable with you, and I'll talk about what I do, but whatever you feel like is something you're able to stay consistent with in that season of your life, then you do that. But the power of it is just being consistent. And then being like recognizing people. So recognizing your challengers, recognizing your clients, recognizing the other girls in our challenge group. Charmaine did a beautiful job about this. As she like asked all the other girls in our group, hey, can I shout you out? Like, I want to celebrate all y'all. And she celebrated the entire day multiple girls' results, and they don't have to be your girls as long as you have permission to celebrate them. No one does not like to be celebrated. I like to be celebrated, so you always have permission to celebrate me. My Instagram handle is @muscles.and.margaritas. Just kidding. Okay. So your business journey is just like your fitness journey. Y'all, we don't eat one burger and expect to gain 100 pounds, right? But we also can't eat one salad and expect to lose 25, 50 pounds. It doesn't happen overnight, right? Our fitness journey is about building those consistent behaviors and those consistent attitudes and those consistent mindsets to making that overall success, right? It's about turning down the pizza when you might really want the pizza. It's about, switching out vodka or margaritas for like vodka tonics, or it's about like drinking water instead of, booze, or it's about making those healthy swaps, and it's about being consistent over time, right? Well, our business journey is the exact same thing. We cannot expect to kind of sort of show up for our business when it's convenient for us. Like we might show up for our business 1 or 2 times a week, depending on the kids, or depending on, how my mood is, or depending on what's going on in my life, and expect to see results, right? Just like our fitness journey, we can't expect to do our workout 1, 2, 3 times a week and then eat good maybe 1 or 2 times a week and expect to see a loss on the scale or a loss in your inches at the end of the week, right? They're the exact same thing. We treat our fitness journey seriously. We've got to treat our business seriously also, and they go hand in hand. I find, and I don't know if any of you seasoned coaches can agree, like our business is thriving the most when we are consistent in our health journey, because they go hand in hand. Our health journey and our business, it is our business. And so you want to make sure that you're staying consistent in your own personal journey, so then it helps you stay consistent in your business. And so where do you think you could be in 7 months if you stayed consistent, right? So here, March of 2018, this was, a month of me working the business. I had right at 3,600 followers, right? That's quite a few. I was building, a Weight Watchers website. Like my Instagram has been through some stuff. If you go back, it's been through. My husband creeped on my Instagram today. Oh, bless his soul. Like it was bad. I don't even know what made him want to go, but he was literally going all the way back on my Instagram to my very first post, which was a picture of my toenails, where my brother like painted them black and they were like all over. And that was my very first post on Instagram. So if any of you guys are brand new baby coaches and you're like, well, do I need to create a fitness Instagram and keep like my personal one separate? I personally don't believe in it. I believe in converting your personal Instagram to your business because you want to keep all that warm market and warm followers. And if they don't appreciate and love and support your journey, then they'll unfollow you and no hard feelings. So like I said, where do you think you could be in 7 months? And then 7 months later, I was at 11.4 thousand followers. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen, in 1 month I get a post go viral. I've never had anything go viral. I've never had anything like that. It's just about me consistently showing up. I have never missed a day of posting. I've never missed a day of storying. I have never missed a day of showing up in, liking people's photos, commenting on people's photos, and following people or whatever. I followed 100 people a day, for the 7 months. And then I ended up using Captivate, which if you don't know what Captivate is, it is an iPhone app. And I did a live on it in our team page. And it helps just basically do what I was doing, 10Xing. And so like, y'all, it doesn't happen overnight. And we all see all these people with all these crazy followers. I got the exact same. I help the exact same amount of people with 3,000 followers as I have with 11,000. It's just all about the intention. It's not about the number of followers we have, but how we treat the followers we already have. All right. Where could you be in 7 months if you stay consistent? So here, they're both sweaty selfies. These are one of my very first sweaty selfies. This was in March 2018. And you can see that I don't edit my photos back then. I took, just standard sweaty selfies, and I didn't really care about it aesthetically. As a brand new baby coach, I didn't know nothing about aesthetics. I just cared about trying to post something. I had 45 likes on that, right? Here's a comparable sweaty selfie. Me and my abs looking really good in that picture, but you see the lighting's better. It's edited. I've got over 500, and I got 550 likes. Do you know what I see there, y'all? I see 500 more opportunities to reach out to people, 500 more chances to create relationships, 500 more leads to follow up with. That's what I see, y'all. And that is what consistency will bring you, is it'll bring you warm blood and it'll bring you people to appreciate your photos. And those are the people you're going to interact with. Those are the people who are interacting with you. And so y'all, you have to see, like, if we get stagnant, like, right, we don't expand our network, we don't follow people, we don't reach out, we are going to run out of people to reach out to. We're going to run out of those followers. And so you have to show up consistently, but also do the back end work. Again, where could you be in 7 months if you stayed consistent? So March 2018, I did a regular story. It was 80-day obsession. I was like, here we go, day 8 of when I started 80-day obsession. I had 294 views on my Instagram stories. I mean, that's quite a few. That's 294 people that I can reach out to. Here's the same type of thing, right? It's an Instagram story. It's just a book that I was reading, Year of Yes, which I highly, highly recommend. It's such a good book. And I had almost 1,800 views on my Instagram story. Now I get over 3,000 views on my daily Instagram story. And it's all about showing up and consistently bringing content. My Instagram stories literally run like clockwork, and my seasoned coaches like Charmaine and even Sarah, they'll know this. Like, I am a creature of habit, and people go to my Instagram stories to see the same thing. Every single morning, like clockwork, I will wake up, I will do my energized shot on my Instagram stories. every single day like clockwork. Then I will videotape my workout. So you'll see my workout after that. I'll share a picture of me and my girls doing that workout. And then I'll proceed to talk about my day and all that stuff. Every single day like clockwork, you will see my workout, you will see my energize, and I will talk about my shape, because those are the things that make me show that I am consistent. And if I am consistently showing up for my journey and consistently showing up for them when they're not giving me any money, that's going to make them trust me that I'm going to show up when they invest. Y'all, we can't expect people to trust us and believe in us and want to follow us and join us if they don't think we are staying consistent in our own journey. Because how in the hell are we supposed to help them stay consistent in theirs, right? Like, I don't know, but would you, like, and we'll get into this, but it's like, I wouldn't have trusted my coach if I would have went to her page and saw that she posted, once a week, once every other week, or every day, like every week she was talking about, oh, I'm starting over because I've quit, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. Like, we have to trust the people that we're expecting to lead us out of the darkness or lead us into this healthy routine. And that means showing up consistently. All right. So would you trust someone who only shows up for you when it's convenient for them? So I want to say like Susan, right? Susan and you are besties, right? Like Margs, like every Tuesday, you and Susan go and get Margs on Tequila Tuesday, right? Well, Susan, Susan's that type when she gets a boyfriend, that when she gets that boyfriend, she's so far up that boyfriend's ass that she doesn't know what day it is, right? Well, Susan gets a boyfriend and then she just ghosts you for 2 months. And then one day she texts you like, hey, it's Tuesday. Do you want to get Margs? You're like, you haven't talked to me in 2 months. I haven't seen, heard, or anything. Like, I don't trust you. Like, why do I want to go out and spend my time with you if you don't care to go out and spend time with me, right? You don't want to go hang out with Susan because Susan's only wanting to hang out with you when it's convenient for her, right? So that's the exact same thing with our social media, right? Like, if you are only showing up part of the time, you're maybe posting 1, 2, 3 times a week, and you're in your Instagram stories maybe every other day, 2 or 3 frames. What makes that person want to join you versus me, who shows up 2 times a day, every single day, and in her Instagram stories at least 10 frames? There isn't. Y'all, our people have to trust us. They have to know that we're going to show up on our social media, and that's how they're going to know that we're being consistent in our own journey. And we have to be vulnerable and share those things. And so, like, we don't want to be a Susan. Like, nobody wants to be a Susan, right? We want to be that person that shows up when it's hard, when it shows up, when it's inconvenient, shows up when, we've had shit hit the fan, because that is what's going to show your followers that you're going to show up for them when they need you the most. That you're going to show up for them when it's inconvenient for you and they need you. You're going to show up for them in your boot camp after they give you your hard money. Y'all, we all get those price objections, right? But how are you you've got to put that value behind that price, and the value is you. And so if you're showing up every single day, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're going to hold a lot of value. But if you're not, people are just going to be like, I mean, she's cool. I like what she posts when she does, but I don't really know if she's staying consistent. So here's a few of my tips. My number 5 tips for being consistent and living life with intention and running your business with intention. So my number 1 tip is make a conscious decision to remain consistent. That is all this is. Consistency is just being intentional with your time and being conscious. So when you're sitting there watching The Bachelor and you're like, damn, I really should be sending invites because I haven't done it in 3 days. But you're like, it's so juicy. Like, I just want to know whoever, like, I don't even know who The Bachelor is, but I just want to know who he chooses. Like, Chris? No, that's Chris Harrison's the host. Like, I literally don't know. But, like, it's about being consistent.
Alex.
What?
Colton. His name is Colton.
Okay, well, there's my point exactly. You spend way too much knowing The Bachelor. But like I said, it's about remaining consistent. So if you know you haven't sent your invites for the day, it's about knowing I don't need to sit down and watch this show, whether it be Florida Bama Shore, the Married at First Sight, I don't care. Whatever show is your kryptonite, or sitting down to take a nap or whatever until your work is done, until you're ready and you're consistent with that. The second thing is revise your concept of time. I do not want to hear that you don't have enough time. That's my little tough love. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. When I started this, I was working 8 to 6 every single day, Monday through Friday. I am a mom. I am a wife. I had an hour commute almost one way. And you know what I did? I made this work. I woke up earlier. I went to bed later. I was doing an hour workout back then because I was doing 80-day obsession. Y'all already got 40 more minutes than I do because you're only doing 20-minute workouts. And so it's all about making your business and your goals a priority. And it all goes into that season of life that you're in. But you've got to revise that concept of time. And so if it means sitting down, y'all, literally, I schedule every part of my day, even down to the unplugged time when I'm going to spend time with Riley. And then I have 2 unplugged times when I spend time with my family all together. And then when I spend time with Riley during the day. And I schedule those. I schedule when I'm going to do my invites. I schedule when I'm going to do my follow-ups. And I live by my schedule because I know if I'm not being intentional with my time and I'm not in control of my time will control me. I spent 3 hours this morning with Sarah on the phone, literally editing pictures. And I was like, what in the hell have I just done? Like literally. And it's because I was not being in control of my time. I wasn't staying aware of my time. I was chatting. I was looking at these pictures. Like I was bullshitting around. And so you've got to remain very coherent with your time because we all know we don't have much time, right? We all know that. It's just we've got to find the best ways to fit it in there. And if it's not an hour here, an hour there, it might be 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. But you've got to make sure that you are always in control of your time and your time's not in control of you. And so I'm sorry if that means you have to wake up a little earlier. Y'all, I am the least morning person out there. If you ask, like, I am not happy in the morning. Like, I literally show up on the Zoom call 3 minutes late every single day. And I'm not even the person who wakes up the earliest. Charmaine's wakes up the earliest. But I know that if I don't show up for those calls, then I am not going to be productive. I am not going to have that extra 3 hours before my daughter wakes up to be able to get that work done. And that means that it's going to put me behind the entire day to where I'm not going to be able to spend time with my family. And so maybe you spend tons of time at work, and that means you've got to wake up earlier. Or maybe you go to work balls early and you've got to go to bed later, a little bit later, and get that work done. It's all about just finding what works best with your schedule. And then have a plan and know your objective. Y'all, I cannot urge you enough to know what your why is. I talk about this all the time, and I will say it till I'm blue in the face. We have to know why we're doing this, right? You have to know why you are showing up to these freaking team calls, listening to me on my soapbox at 9:30 at night. You have to know, you have to be so solid in that why of why this is a non-negotiable, why you're not going to quit when the going gets tough. Because I, for one, can tell you, I have thought about quitting at least 10 times. And that was probably within the last 6 months. Like, I can't tell you within the last year. But have I? No, because I have that why. And I know what the alternative is. What's the alternative? To go back to being depressed, gain weight back, go back to State Farm where I was miserable and I wanted to kill myself? No. I'd rather deal with all the hard times here than have to go back to a life like that. A life where I couldn't dream. Like, what in your life is making you want to do this? And then why are you going to stick with it? And then you've got to know, have a plan to get there. And so maybe your why is to pay for some extra groceries in the house, like to be able to put groceries in the house. Or maybe your why is to be able to pay your car bill every month or your cell phone or whatever. So maybe that's $200 a month your goal is. So how are you going to get there? What is your plan that you're putting in place? How many invites are you going to send every single day? It's about reverse engineering those goals. So what are your top 3 goals and how are you going to get there? So like my top 3 goals, and I will tell y'all because I tell y'all all the time, is for our team to go 10-star, Diamond, Elite, this year. That means I'll have 10 of y'all go diamond and be able to build your own team. My second goal is for us to have our elite retreat. And then my third goal is to be able to finally fit in single digit jeans. I know, super, super Vietnamese, but it's me. And I've reverse engineered those. So I know I need to help advance 1 to 2 of y'all a month. I know that I need to have at least 5 of y'all hit Success Club every single month to be able for y'all to achieve your goals and for us and our team to achieve our goal. I know for me to hit single digits in my blue jeans, that I need to stay consistent with my eating and stay intentional with my diet. And so it's all about reverse engineering those goals that you have for yourself. And it's about having a system. Y'all, I cannot tell you enough. Have a system so you know what you need to do. I was talking to Sarah about this morning. We were working and I was like, you've got to have a system. I know sometimes setting up a system whenever you're working full time and you're doing all the things is super overwhelming. But like she said, like I showed her Google Streak and she was like, oh my God, this would save me so much more time. And that's it. We've got to find the time, right? We don't have the time. We have to find the time, and having efficient systems is what's going to help us find the time. So whatever works for you. If you like digital, Google Streak is a great option. It shows pipelines. It shows, you're able to see where stage every single person is in the sales process. You're able to see, who you followed up with last. Maybe your pen and paper. Great. Number the page for however many invites you're going to send. Write their handle down every single time you send an invite. If they respond to you, highlight it. If they're interested, circle it. If you've sent them a link, put a check or whatever next to it, some system that you know and that you can follow up with and know that, okay, I need to follow up with these people. Y'all, the worst mistake I made at the beginning of my business was not having a system. And trust me, I am not a systems-oriented person by nature. Like people think I am right now. They think I'm like super type A, like I'm super systems-oriented. Like I love schedules and I love plans. Like I would never have thought I would have turned in this person a year ago. I am the person who used to buy planners out the yin yang and only about 30 days maybe are filled in, and then about 10 of those are consistently filled in. That was me. Can anybody attest to that? They bought so many planners and had so much freaking, they were gonna do it. They were gung-ho. This was the time. They were gonna plan their life out. They were gonna take control, and then shit hit the fan and nothing happened. That was me. And guess what, y'all? I didn't let that be my story. I said, I know I have to be in control of my time, so I have to force myself. And it takes 21 days to start building a habit, which I think is bull crap. It literally took me like 2 months to get consistent with it. And sometimes I'm still not 100% consistent. But that is what we have to do to be intentional with our time. So find a system, but y'all, when you find that system, stick to it. Do not keep looking for another system. Do not keep looking for the newest or best thing. Find what works for you in this season of life you're in. And then when it doesn't work anymore, then look, but don't try to fix something that you already have. My system, when I first started, y'all, bless my sweet little baby coach heart, I did not have a coach like myself to lead me like y'all do. So learn from my mistakes. I'm telling you, I literally would message people and I would write down on like sticky notes who I'm talking to. And then I have a 3-year-old toddler. So she thought those sticky notes were fun and would like rip them and tear them, and then I'd lose them. And then they came out with like these little flag things on Instagram. And then I used to flag all my important conversations. But then I found out those flags only stay there for 30 days. And so 30 days went by and I lost everybody I was talking to. Learn from my mistakes. Find a system that you can easily do, because y'all, when you don't have a lot of time, it's easier for you to say, okay, I've got 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and shoot through some follow-ups. Okay, where are your follow-ups? How are you going to quickly get to them? How are you going to quickly go to those? I was talking to Sarah. I sent 82 follow-ups in the, 2 hours I was power houring with Sarah. And it's because I literally went here. Let me show y'all. I'll show you exactly what I did, so you guys can know. And then I have, why is this not share? So I went here. and I went to Gmail, and this is what Google Streak looks like. And I have a training for this that is in our team page, but I literally went here, and here's how I find up. You go to days and stage. And so here we go. I know I need to follow up with all of these people that haven't been followed up with. Quick, follow up, follow up, follow up. You saw how fast I found that? And it's not about having to look for this follow-ups. Okay, I'm trying to find who I've sent links to and they haven't completed their purchase. Sent link. Okay, I have these 4 people that are sitting here that have not purchased yet, or who I've asked for the information for link. How many times have you guys asked for somebody's information, they ghost you and you forget who they are? So here, I know I asked these last 5 people, 6 people, whatever it is, and I need to follow up with them and get their information and get a link sent out to them. Spoke about price. How many people have you given price to? Crickets. And then you're like, shit, I knew I needed to follow up with somebody. Like, they told me their price, whatever. Have a system. I cannot tell you enough how important systems are. And the last thing, alarms. Y'all, I built my business. I was able to retire myself on alarms. I know it sounds really funny, and I swear I'm not like military or anything, but it's the thing of alarms, of like knowing you have this thing that's counting down. And I would literally do my like reverse, whatever that is an alarm or a stopwatch, whatever. But it would literally, I would say, set it for 20 minutes and I would let it count down, and I would send invites. Focused invites, no scrolling, no Instagram stories, no nothing for that 20 minutes, and send those. And then when that alarm goes off, I'm done. I'm moving on. I've got to get to the next thing. And if I'm not done, I'll schedule another 20 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever sometimes during the day. Y'all, I lived off of these in the beginning of my business. I had one for personal development. So I knew I need to do 15 minutes of personal development every single day. I set that. So I did 15 minutes and I was done. I didn't have to think about, oh my gosh, I needed to check my watch. I needed to check at the time. Whenever I was like sending follow-ups, I had the same thing. 20-minute alarm or 30-minute, whatever I set. And it's something that just helps you be intentional and know that you only have that much time. I was so much, and I know this is bad to say, but I was so much more intentional and productive with my time when I was working full time, because I knew I only had this little bit of time to grow my business. Now I have all day and I'm like, ooh, I got all this time, but it's really not all that time because I'm raising a toddler, I'm a wife, I'm trying to clean this pigsty of a house. And so having those alarms and being intentional with them is going to change your business. Are you showing up consistently and unapologetically you? I just want to ask you that, and you can answer it to yourself. Do you feel like if you looked at your social media right now, that it is a direct reflection on the person you are, the person you're trying to attract, your avatar, the other yous of the world? If you looked at your social media, your top 6 to 9 photos, and read your captions, would they speak to somebody's heart? Would they speak to the other yous of the world? Would they talk about your story? Would they know that they had something to join? Would they know that you're a coach and that you have a business? These are things that people have to know when they come to your page. They have to know what you have to offer. So your life is so much more than Beachbody and sweaty selfies. Like, it breaks my freaking heart every single time I see a coach that is literally just posting the sweaty selfie right here. It's like, day 1 done. And if you guys have done that and I haven't told you not to do it yet, don't worry. I'm not holding it against you, but don't. Like, every single post that we post, just like day 1 done or, workout done, is a wasted opportunity to share a story. So like at the beginning of my journey, and I wish I had posts for this because like I was so bad at this. I literally would just say, I'm done. I'm trying to scroll down, but I literally would just talk about how I'm done with my workout. It would be a sweaty selfie like you guys saw above here. It was just like a regular sweaty selfie. Like, it was just saying something about being done with my workout and something like that. And here I'm telling a story. I am telling, why this workout is what it is. And so that is something that will attract people a lot more than just saying your workout, because y'all, the pictures grab people's attention, but the post grab people's hearts. Does that make sense to you? Like, what you say is what is going to grab people at like the heartstrings, and be like, oh my God, she knows the struggle. Like, she knows what I'm talking about. Like, here, I posted yesterday's leg day, had me like, I'm posting this from my bed, praying they stop hurting from cardio. Wish luck. And it was like this just like really crappy, sweaty selfie. Like I didn't spend time to think, and I didn't know better. I didn't know I should have told stories. I didn't know any of this. And so like here's that exact sweaty selfie. When that cardio gets you feeling like woo. That's what I did. That was wasted opportunity. That was a thing where I could, have a story. I could speak to somebody's heart. And so here, another sweaty selfie. And this is recent. And I said, life is full of decisions. So you regret it. And some you are so thankful for. Joining this amazing company and starting these life-changing workouts is one thing I will never regret. My life is forever changed with one decision. A decision I made in the darkest place after failing so many times. A decision I made when I had so many unknowns. A decision I made when I was living paycheck to paycheck and little to no money. A decision I made when I had zero belief in myself. We all have decisions we all have to make on a daily basis. So this is yours on this Monday morning, day 1 of my new 6-week program. Are you going to decide to lean into that fear to not let it stop you from doing the one thing that could potentially change your whole life? Or are you going to continue watching from the sidelines as my life is changing, wishing, hoping, and praying it would magically change for you? It's up to you. It has always been up to you. Which one of those were more impactful? Which one of those kind of were like, damn? Was it my legs hurt from leg day, I'm just, whoo, Or was it telling a story? And so you have to think, what drew you to your coach, your upline? If it was me, like, what drew you to me? Was it my sweaty selfies or was it my story? Okay. And so then you have to do that exact same thing, but in your way and talking about your story so people can get drawn in by your story. Your people will resonate with you, not the person you are trying to portray. I see so many beautiful souls trying to be like their favorite coach that they're following on Instagram, or trying to say things like another coach on the Instagram or in the network, and it just doesn't fit. Like that's one reason why I'm like, don't use my scripts verbatim, because it's in my verbiage. It's how I talk. I always call people babe. I always say girlfriend. I always say darling. Like I say these things, and if you copy and paste a script from somebody else, it's going to be like, well, you never say girlfriend. Like, what? That makes no sense. Or if it's in the verbiage, and like, especially how you post. Like if you're saying something in your Instagram stories, but then your posts don't line up, people are going to be confused. They're going to be like, who is this chick? Is she the chick in the Instagram stories, or is she the chick in the post? Or is she the chick in the post or the Instagram stories? Like, I don't know. Or when they join you and join your boot camp and they're like, okay, I really don't know who this chick is. You've got to make sure you're consistent with who you are. And so that means if you are spending, and I had to do this in January, so I'm not going to judge you in any ways. I literally sat there and I evaluated, what am I spending a lot of time doing? And I don't know if it's like y'all, but I was spending a lot of time on other coaches' Instagram stories, watching their Instagram stories, seeing what they're doing. Like I literally knew what Ashley Molstad had for breakfast some days. Like that's how much I was consumed into their Instagram stories. I unfollowed every single coach I knew. Every single one. Except, of course, my downline, because I'm wanting to see what y'all are doing. But every single coach that was consuming my time, I unfollowed, because that is not building my business. It was breaking me down. Anytime that you're feeling like you're starting to compare your success, your coaching, your journey with another coach, unfollow them. Even if it's me. Even if you find that you are consumed in the time with me, unfollow me. I won't have hard feelings. You've got to make sure you are focused on your business. I will go to other coaches' Instagram stories every once in a while, watch their stories. I won't follow them, but I'll go watch and see for inspiration if I need some inspiration. But of course, I'll make it my own and do my own thing. But those are the things that'll make you in your business. And it's going to make you more productive. I find I am so much more productive now that I don't spend at least an hour to 2 hours of my day watching other people's Instagram stories. So I want you to do a gut check real quick. Look at your last week of posts. Is there something there that sets you apart from everyone else? Is there a post there that sets you apart from every other Beachbody coach? Is there a post there that shows them exactly who you are as a coach? Is there a post there that shows them who you are looking for, meaning talking about your story and stuff like that? Or is there just sweaty selfies? Is there just the same pose? Is your page look super one tone, meaning you're only in sweaty selfies, you're not showing them other aspects of your life? If there are, it's fine. I was there at one point too. But it's time to start looking, and this is again, like I looked at other top coaches. I was very coachable when I started coaching. I looked at other top coaches and I was like, they're sharing a lot more than just like gym pictures. Like they're sharing pictures of their dog, their kids. They're sharing pictures of like what they like to do on the weekends. Share your life, dude. Your life, as much as we think our lives are boring, like I haven't left my house in probably 3 or 4 days, except for that date night. And I can't tell you the last time I washed my hair. But you wouldn't know it from my Instagram. Most of those pictures are not taken. Like the picture I posted today, it was not taken today. But it's all about the story. Like I make my posts not in real time. All my posts are curated in my head when I'm feeling it. And I go to my little post bank and I post a picture with that post and that's it. And so it's all about just being you, dude. Like at the end of the day, we have a bomb ass job. Like our job is just to be us. Like my job is not to be Alyssa. My job is not to be Crystal. My job is not to be whatever corporate freaking America tells me is acceptable. My job is to be me. My job is to be the loud, obnoxious, sailor-mouthed, toddler mama, literally ditzy sometimes, me. That's my job. That is what I get paid. Not very big bucks, but I get paid to do, is to attract my people and to be me. Y'all, I have never been less exhausted than I have with this job because I was so exhausted in freaking State Farm in corporate America. Literally, they were telling me, you've got to act this way, dress this way, talk this way, be this way. And I was having to be so self-aware of every single move I made. Every single thing I said, every single thing I did, every single thing I wore, and afraid of, embarrassing the company or embarrassing my boss or getting fired or, like not being accepted by my peers. Like y'all accept me if I'm wearing a bra or not. Y'all accept me if I throw the F-bomb or I don't. Like that is what this is about. This is about finding like-minded people and getting to spread that awareness that we're perfect just the way we are. We can be successful just the way we are. But you have to be real with who you are and you have to show that. Because if you're trying to be something you're not, you're going to attract nobody. Like if you're trying to be me, you're going to attract my people and then you're going to be so exhausted trying to always like resonate with them. Find your people. And that is the only way you're going to do it is by being unapologetically you, showing up consistently, and just being the boss ass bitch I know you can be. I did it. I said it. Sue me. Okay. So homework, because I swear I'm a teacher in a second life. This I want you to post in our team page. So the first thing is I want you to get the F uncomfortable. I want you to make a post. And this is going to take some time. This isn't something you're just going to be able to throw up tonight. I want you to make a post that kind of makes you want to throw up. Y'all, I can remember the very first post that I made that made me want to throw up. You know that post where you're like, I really don't want to post this. Like I've said some things like this picture is just like, I don't think I can do this. Like this is not good. This isn't going to happen. Like you keep talking yourself out of it. That's the post. The post that literally wants you to make you want to throw up. And I'm trying to find mine, but I can't find it. That's what you need to post. And so it's going to take time and it's going to take you getting vulnerable and you're going to talk yourself out of it multiple times. But I'm telling you, you're going to know when it's the right post because you're going to be like, damn, like this one. This one was my first one. I was hunched over. I was showing all of my imperfections. I was showing every single thing, and I was talking about how it's suicidal. I was talking about how social media wants to portray how we can accept this person, we can't accept that person. That post I sent to 3 of my success partners. I was like, I can't do this. I was like, I put so much thought and I was so proud of it, and then I chickened out. I was like, I'm not going to post it. I'm not going to do it. Like, it's cool. Like, I got the emotions out. I got the feelings out. I can't physically do this. I went to delete it, and somehow I posted it. I don't know how I did it, but I guess it was the universe saying, Allie, this needs to be out in the universe. That was the first post I ever got that got over 500 likes, and I got almost 100 comments on it. All love and outpour and support, and it was my people, and they understood me. And then the worry went away. And now I get so much more vulnerable because I got out of my own way with that. So the second thing is, I want you to show up 2 times a day, every day. And this one's not one that you can just be like, oh, I did it. Like, this is a kind of for everyone. Like, that's the minimum you need to show up. 2 times a day. I show up once in the morning, once in the evening, especially if you're working, all are still working, mostly all are still working corporate jobs, you know? So you can post once before you go to work and when you get home. Your people aren't going to be on during the day. They're going to be at work. And so once in the morning, once in the evening, and you can Instagram story in the morning and in the evening. And then number 3, get on IG stories. This one's going to be awkward. It was for me at first. Trust me. Just trust me. And I want you to talk to the other yous of the world. If it's after a workout, if it's just in the mid-afternoon, I want you to literally sit there and talk. It's great to give value and advice. So say something that you know would have impacted you before you started. Say that one thing that you're like, this is what would have got me to join. This is what would have got me out of my own way. This is what would have made me start believing in myself more. Speak to the other yous of the world. In the camera, talk. Y'all, I hate how I sound in Instagram stories. I feel so uncomfortable to this day. I bet you wouldn't have known that. I, to this day, still do not rewatch my Instagram stories. I ain't about that life. I think I sound like a 40-year-old man that's like smoked a pack a day. Like, I literally feel like I got this like obnoxious, raspy voice. Like, I don't even like rewatching these team recordings because I'm like, oh my God, I hate that they have to listen to my voice. You know, like some of those girls, they have like really cute voices and they're like, oh my God. Like, I'm like, why do I have to have this like asshole voice? Like, I don't like how I sound. I don't like how I look. But guess what? I still do it. I don't let my limiting beliefs, I don't like my mean girl, I don't like, you know, all these things I don't like about myself keep me from doing it. I just do it. I own up to that uncomfort. I own up to the awkwardness, and I just, you know, I just faith it till I make it. And what helps me is not rewatching them. So that's one, it helps it be more authentic because then I don't rewatch, and then I don't like sit there and overanalyze and then delete and re-record. If you have to delete and re-record something, you're not being authentically you. And so with this, when you're sitting there talking to the other yous of the world, if you have to delete it and re-record it, you're not being you. You're being someone else, but you ain't being you. Just be you. If you burp, like literally sometimes you'll see me burp on camera. Oh, okay, that's cool. Or you'll see me like just yell at my child because she's being an asshole. Like, that's cool. Like, it happens. Like, I'm just me, and I just show the backstage of my life, and that's what gets people to trust me. And so that's what you need to do to you. Like Charmaine, I love her to death, but like sometimes she comes in there with like shaving cream on her face, or like she comes like with like toilet paper. Like, I still remember this day, she had toilet paper freaking hanging from her nose. I shit you not. She had toilet paper hanging from her nose, talking to her Instagram followers just about how her nose won't stop running and she's just given up. Like, that's being, like, I ain't saying you got to go that far, but like, that's just being you, like not giving 2 Fs. And like, whatever your version of being you and not giving 2 Fs is, do that. Okay. I feel like I've talked a lot this one, and the chat's got 19. You guys are probably all just talking crap. I'm dying. She isn't lying the hood. I also agree. Same shower, same. Oh my gosh, I should have used Charmaine's page as an example. She's very jaundiced at the beginning. It was cute though. I loved her. Captivate is the bomb and streak. I wish I started day 1 with these. Yes, Adriana. Yes. So glad I joined this tonight. I am the baby coach. Yes, Michelle, but I'm so excited. I need to look that up. F you, Susan. Okay, so does anyone have any questions, concerns, emotional outbursts, anything I can help you with? I'm all ears. We got about 6 more minutes left until our hour. Was this valuable? Did I show up? Did I show up and show up?
You showed up.
Aw, my baby.
Okay, well, nobody want to speak and say.
No. Okay, no, go. You go ahead.
What you gonna say, Alyssa?
What you gonna say? Okay, I just want to say I need to do this more because I've been feeling like I gotta quit, man. This is like too much. Like I'm overwhelmed. I'm like stressed out. I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna fail. And I'm like, you're not gonna fail. And I'm like, you're gonna fail. I'm like, no, you're not gonna fail. But like, the only person who's in your way is yourself. So like, I don't know. This really helped me tonight. So thank you.
It is. And that's one thing, like, y'all, I cannot, if you don't think about quitting at least like once a month, you're not putting your heart and soul and everything into it.
Well, I listened to that
telling
call from
you, honestly,
Ashley.
I think about quitting at least once a week. Like at least once a week, I sit there and I'm like I can't help my coaches. Like my fears aren't like I can't recruit anymore because I can do that. Like I can get, you know, new boot campers, my story and all that does that. But my fears are like, I'm never going to be able to help y'all achieve your goals. I'm never going to be able to help you guys advance into your businesses. I'm never going to be able to mentor y'all the way you need to be. So you guys would just be better out without me. Like, I think that on a freaking weekly basis, but it doesn't keep me from showing up. It doesn't keep me from still showing up, crying before, and then coming in like a boss I am, because that's what this business is, y'all. We've got to think, what is the alternative? There's something that we were missing in our life that brought us here. So what is the alternative? Going back to doing that? Going back to doing whatever it was that we were doing before this that left that void in our heart? Going back to doing whatever that freaking thing is that made you seek something else? Or is it just bucking up, putting your big girl panties on and showing up like the boss that you know you are? Showing up every single day because you know the alternative is a whole hell of a lot worse. It's going to be hard.
Yeah.
You're going to want to quit. You're going to cry. You're going to want to like call me saying, I can't do this anymore. Like it's just not for me. But the difference that puts the people who are successful, the elite coaches, the millionaires, all that, and the average Susan is you. Is you getting over that mean girl, is you saying, F that, I am doing this because I made a commitment to myself and I'm going to prove to myself that I am worthy. And so my thing is, if you think you saying that you're quitting, like you want to quit, or that you don't think you can do this, or you're overwhelmed, if you think you're the only one, you're not. I get overwhelmed all the time.
Right.
But the only difference between that and my next coach cancellation is this isn't just a temporary thing for me. Like I know Charmaine can speak and I love her to death and she's been with me since day one. This isn't temporary for her. Like regardless of all the struggles she's had, regardless of all the doubts, the self-doubts and the cryings, and she's called me crying multiple times. And as me, I have her. Like we've been through a lot and she's that's why I say she's my very, very first coach for all you new coaches. Like she's my first one. But like, this is not a temporary thing. Like I have seen so many of you beautiful faces come and go and it breaks my heart. But it also know that the only thing that stands between you and success is you. And how much you're willing to get uncomfortable and how much you're willing to put that mean girl to rest. And that's why personal development is so huge. Mm-hmm. And I know most of everybody can attest to that. Does anybody else got anything? I know all y'all were trying to talk at once and I go on my soapbox.
Do you have any tips? So I'm sharing my story, but I feel like it's almost repetitive. Do you have tips to maybe change it up but still have the same kind of focus?
Yeah. So, I mean, we all have like my story, like our story is the same thing. Like it's just about getting crafty and telling it in different ways. And so like sometimes I pick key points of my story and only elaborate on those. Like one post might be just my key point is like when I was severely depressed. And I was, depressed about just, if it might be a work-related post. So I'm talking about how I was depressed at work, how, I all the story that was just work-related. Then maybe you're yo-yo dieting, right? But that's not the whole story. but that's the part you focus to talk about. So you talk about your yo-yo dieting, you talk about how you failed at everything, you talk about how, like how many diets you started, quit, whatever. Then maybe you had a really bad like eating disorder. Like me, I suffered from, like binge eating disorder and stuff like that. And so then I'll pick to talk about that. It's all about picking key points of your story and elaborating on those in different ways. And it all comes with time. Trust me, I recycle posts all the time because there's only so many ways you can tell your post. But remember, like they're your story, but just remember, it's not going to hit the right person on the right day every time. And so no matter how many times you tell that story, you're always going to touch somebody's heart because only 1 to 2% of our followers actually see our posts. I have 14,000 followers and I get 1,000 likes on a good day. I don't even know what percentage. I don't math very hard, but that's not a good percent. So I just would emphasize different parts of it at different times.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Anybody else got anything?
I was going to say, like,
Oh,
when
yeah.
you post too, it doesn't always have to be so dang serious. Like, have fun with it when you post. Like, even today, I posted something about freaking shopping Ariana Grande song 7 Rings. Like, I posted a meme about that, and I'm already at like 500 likes. That is the most likes I have gotten on one thing in my entire Instagram page since I've been doing this. Just because that's what I do. I go shopping, I pick something up, I look at the price tag, and I put that shit back. Like, yeah. I don't even buy it. And I use that and people relate.
And I want to elaborate on what you just said because you kind of just went over it. That's her, like her person, her vibe. She's Target, she's Starbucks, she's, she's always talking about shopping and all that. Like, that's her person. And so that's what works for her. Me, I post a picture of me chowing the F down on a burger. And I'm talking about like honey boo boo chow. Like, if you want to use keto, if you want to cut your carbs out, that's just more for me. Like, I'm just going to be over here living my best life with my burger. And that's me. I'm balanced. I'm talking about, enjoying my cake and eating it too and all that stuff. And so she's right. Your posts don't always have to be serious, but they do have to be, I feel like they do have to be coherent to like who you are as a person, not just like throwing something up random. And they're like, that didn't really.
Yeah. Show a different side of yourself. It don't have to be, just show the humors in you. Like, something short, simple, cute, to the point. It don't have to always be long and drawn out because everybody doesn't sit and read that shit anyway. So
yeah, and I will be right with what she said. Is it's all against your audience, and we have to earn people's their time is a luxury. And so until you earn their trust, they're not going to spend that time to read these long, drawn out paragraphs of you. I'm sorry, it just doesn't happen. It's taken me a long time to actually get people to actually read those things. Because I do polls. I haven't done one in a while. I really need to do it. But like, ask your people, do you like short, sweet, and to the point stories? Or do you like when I do those longer, drawn out, really talk about my story? And people give you their honest opinion. If they say they want those short, sweet, to the point stories, then that saves you a whole hell of a lot of time on content. And it also just saves you a lot of headache. And so that you just need to tell your story in little bullet points and like 3 to 4 sentences at each time. And if that's what they like, but if they like that longer story, then you can take the time to do that. But when I first started, I only did longer like stories twice a week. And then I did shorter, like I did storytelling, but I did them shorter the rest of the time because I didn't really have many people who engaged in my longer posts because I didn't earn their trust yet. And totally doable. But now I get a lot of more engagement on my longer posts because people look forward to my posts and I've gained that trust. And so maybe your people like that shorter, just to the point, story. And that's a good thing to poll and say, hey, okay, so I want to serve y'all the best way I know possible. And I was always just curious, like, do you guys like when I write, I give you like a full story and I tell you all about me and all about my life? Or do you guys just like, a couple sentences and keep it short, sweet, and to the point? And so then my poll, I should have screenshot this, but then my poll would be like short, sweet, to the point, or, long story, and like have them vote. And then, okay, so they like short, sweet, to the point. Cool. Or they like longer stories. Then I know how to gear my post to best serve my audience, because it's all about your audience, not mine, not anybody. You've got to get the chance to know yours. And the only way you know that is by talking to them.
I feel like also with that though, it also depends on the content that you're posting. Like when you are, hold on a second. When you are like, I feel like when I post like my week 1 versus my week 4, like when I am looking transparent and I am like, that was not a cute picture at all. Like, I can't believe like I even took that. But like more people are intrigued by that because it's like, oh shit, she's being raw. Let me read what she's gonna say. And and like, I mean, that's just how I look at it. Like the more raw I am, the more they're gonna be like, oh, okay, I can read her stuff.
Yeah.
Like if I'm just posting a cute selfie, like they're gonna be like, whatever, that's normal.
Yeah, it's the picture that grabs the attention, but it's the story that grabs the heart. And so you have to make sure your pictures are attention worthy. And so that means, finding that time to take good pictures and take pictures that go with the story, or taking the time to, lighten and edit your photos, because it's all about the content you're putting out there that's going to catch people's eyes. Like y'all, my pictures, my goal is to make them scroll stopping. So that's why they're light bright. Amanda, she's making hers like super rose goldish, and it's really cool looking. Charmaine's are like really colorful, but bright. And so it's all about just what the person you want to show out there, but you want it to make sure it's scroll stopping. And so if it's just dim, it's dark, and everybody's like, it looks like everybody on Instagram, like, the ones that just post about their dog and like their kid, then they're not going to really want to stop their scroll. It's got to be something that looks worth the stop. We only have like 0.02 seconds to get anybody to stop their scroll. And so you got to make sure that your picture can stand out in the mass of all them 11.6 billion Americans on Instagram. That's billion. So if you guys thought the market was too saturated, we only got 400,000 coaches. There's like billions in America. So we good. We gooch. All right, we've been going so long. I know Crystal's laughing at me. She doesn't even know what she's getting herself into. This is just the tip of the iceberg, boo-boo. Okay, so I hope this was super, super helpful. I will have this recording up to y'all in the AM. Y'all, 2 weeks. 2 weeks to hit Success Club. You can do it. 2 weeks to help change 3 lives. That means you get your Shakeology paid for. That means you've changed 3 lives. And that means that you've hit your goal. And I know most everybody's goal should be Success Club. That should be a non-negotiable. And I just wanted to end with that because I know every single one of you guys can do it. I know Alyssa, my friend, has already locked it in. Abby has 2. Aubrey has 2, and she's not here. Amanda's 1 more left. Like, y'all can do this. And even if you're not on the board, there's no reason you can't do this. And so really hammer down, hustle hard. For those of you guys that are in the February Diamond Mentorship, also 3 days to lock in Diamond. And the only time you're out of that is if you count yourself out. Every single one of you guys can still do it. Every single one. Don't give up on yourself. You can do it. Every one of you can. Love y'all.